This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Hey yous guys, it's Hazleton night at PNC Field on August 17th. We have a preview of the event and of an SSPTV show all about it. Good evening and thank you for joining us at SSPTV News. I'm Ken Kara. For optimal viewing, please watch us in HD on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 513. There's also the Samsung Productions app where you can watch us on the go. Now, Thursday's headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. A Hazleton man and woman are facing murder charges in connection with the fatal fire in the city. Thomas McQueen, whose last known address was North Locust Street in Hazleton, and Alice Ryan Miller, also known as Alice O'Donnell, whose last known address was 104 East Mine Street, where the fire took place, are charged in connection with the fire that claimed the life of Gordon Wanzer back on March 9th. A state police fire marshal, the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office, and Hazleton police detectives conducted an intensive investigation into the cause and manner of the fire. They determined the fire was intentionally set. An autopsy determined the cause of death for Wanzer was carbon monoxide poisoning due to smoke inhalation. Warrants were issued and McQueen and Ryan Miller were charged with second-degree murder, arson, endangering persons, arson, aggravated assault, and other charges. They were both committed to Luzerne County Prison without bail. Monoy City Code Enforcement Officer Bill Killian called it one of the biggest cases he's ever seen. He was referring to the more than 100 cats found in a home on East Monoy Street in Monoy City Tuesday. Complaints from neighbors triggered the visit. Killian says that the cats were well taken care of and did not have any fleas. The property owner, who is not aware of the cats living there, will receive a notice of violation. The couple living there has agreed to relinquish the animals to the Hillside SPCA. To adopt or make a donation, contact the Hillside SPCA at 570-622-7769. State troopers converged on a popular restaurant yesterday, but there were no crimes committed. 5 troopers visited Tom's Kitchen on Route 93 in the Cunningham Valley. They were there to talk with the public as part of a new outreach program called Coffee with a Cop. While the program has been held in other areas, this was the first gathering for the Hazleton State Police Barracks. The program gives the public the chance to learn about the troopers and ask questions in an informal setting. And the troopers picked up the coffee tab. Organizers are hoping to pack PNC Field on August 17th. That's the date for Hazleton Night at the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. SSPTV's The Girls, Janine and Deb, visited the stadium recently to record a brand new episode promoting the big August event. They were joined by Rail Riders Business Development Executive Russ Kanzler to talk about Hazleton Night and America's favorite pastime. Kanzler, who hails from Cunningham, is a former pro himself, and he says that today's young players are very dedicated.
I think kids are playing a lot more baseball nowadays. So you're seeing, when we played, I don't think we were as polished. I always said this, we have great athletes in our area. There's something to be said coming from, you know, the blue collar part of the state. I always felt like we were a little tougher. You know, through my experience playing professional baseball, you know, it's a 40-degree day and I'm like, oh, it's nice. I'm not wearing anything under my jersey. You know, and then you have guys from Florida and California that are freezing and they're wearing like a parka out there to play. So I always felt there was an edge that we had, you know, coming from a blue collar town. And I thought if there was ever, you know, some direction or some guidance for that athletic ability, for that raw talent, it would be pretty cool to see. And that speaks for all of northeastern Pennsylvania. You know, you see kids from Hazleton. Sal Biazzi just got drafted by the Kansas City Royals in the 11th round, and he's a product of Hazel Township. You know, and you see kids that's happening to it in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area. So it's kind of this interesting factor that's going on every year. There's either a kid going to play Division I baseball or playing professionally. So it's pretty cool to see.
You can get all the details about Hazleton Night, the giveaways, and more on this brand new episode of The Girls. It premieres tomorrow at 9 p.m. on SSPTV, and you can watch anytime via our new Samsung Productions app or at ssptv.com. And you can purchase tickets for Hazleton Night on our website or, again, via the app. Just a reminder, the downtown Hazleton Farmers Market is open tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Broad and Laurel Streets in downtown Hazleton. Don't miss it. Nothing in life is free except for this box of Frankie's Cold Pizza. Each Thursday, you have a chance to win a box of 12 slices of Frankie's Cold Pizza with their signature sauce and cheese blend, baked fresh with no preservatives. Call now 570-459-9813 extension 104. Leave your name and number. The winner will be drawn at random. Frankie's Express will soon be resuming their cold pizza door-to-door service. And if you don't win the pizza, as always, here's our consolation prize. Download the new Samsung Productions app to take all of your favorite local shows with you on the go. Plus, you can use our app for special deals like golf packages and so much more. So download our free Samsung Productions app today. Ahead on SSPTV News, motorsport journalist Dino Alberto tells us about local connections to the racing weekend at Pocono Raceway. And as soon as we come back from this break, Charles McElwee has another history lesson for us. This week, he'll talk about the coal mining industry. This is SSPTV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Well, it's time for another history segment here at SSPTV News. We're pleased to welcome back once again our dear friend Charles McElwee. He's a member of the Board of Directors for the Greater Hazleton Historical Society and Museum. And I understand there is a display at the museum that has to deal with the past of the mining industry in our area. So that's the focus of your topic today.
Yes, on the third floor of our museum in downtown Hazleton, there is a tribute to the mining experience of the immigrants who came to the Hazleton region and all of the anthracite coal region in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. And this display had me thinking recently of Peggy Noonan, who is a columnist for the Wall Street Journal. She gave a commencement address at Catholic University earlier this year. And the address was focused on the problem among what she found to be the problem among professional journalists and politicians, that it tends to be a superficial understanding of history today. In this frenetic-paced environment where we're following Twitter feeds, we tend to have a superficial understanding. And what she said was, if those trying to make history have only a shallow sense of history, they will not be able to make anything good. And it had me thinking about, I think it's important for all of us to understand the mining experience, certainly in the anthracite coal region.
Very well said. We always hear talking about it, but you're saying now this is kind of a resurgence with what's going on in our nation's capital right now, because a new platform introduced by the Democratic Party, you think that ties in with this? Right.
So this week, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer in the Senate announced a better deal. He had a column in the New York Times, and they went to rural Virginia and announced a new platform really to improve their outreach to working class Americans. But I think this is a good example for Democrats. I mean, if they're looking to spread that message, I would advise them, for example, there's a book by Harold Arond, who was a professor at Penn State Hazleton. It's called Coal Cracker Culture. It's a poignant, a beautiful book that really captures the essence of the coal mining experience. And what he focuses on is between the bracket years between 1835 and 1935. And we read about the deplorable conditions of the company houses, the payroll deductions that families had to endure. And one passage I think really captures it. He says, "Immigrants and their children knew that Americans dismissed them as cattle, abused them physically, and openly wished they would leave. The often repeated stories of dead accident victims being left on the front porch or in the living rooms of their homes without an explanation or an expression of sorrow carries a clear message of inferiority, as does the adage that one would be fired for killing a mule, but not for killing a miner." And we do have a display in the museum that shows the statistics of how many were killed in the mines, and it was above 10,000 collectively over nearly a century. Well, if you would like to know more about the history of this region, stop by the Greater Hazleton Historical Society and Museum, and you have a website. Donations are needed and welcome. Yes, please visit the hazletonhistory.org. We really appreciate the support, but we do need contributions to continue our operations. So please consider visiting and supporting the museum so we can continue our mission to preserve and revitalize in the region.
All right, great subject, a great place. Please, Charles will be back each and every week with more on the history of our area.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Fun Fest weekend really isn't that far away, but let's get through this weekend first. Here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms before 2 a.m., then isolated showers between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. 50% chance of precipitation. Our low will be 62 degrees. For our Friday, as we get ready for the weekend, a chance of showers with thunderstorms also possible after 11 a.m. Mostly cloudy, high of 76. Chance of precipitation 50%. Friday night, showers likely and a possible thunderstorm. Our low will be 59 degrees, 60% chance of precipitation. Saturday, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, high of 71. At night, we have a 30% chance of showers, partly cloudy, low of 54. Sunday, it clears up, mostly sunny with a high near 72, and at night, partly cloudy, low of 56. Monday, mostly sunny, high of 78, and at night, mostly clear, low of 61 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High Food Drive-In, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Open daily 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sundays and holidays 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Stop by for our ice cream and yogurt, now featuring fat-free, no sugar-added soft frozen yogurt with flavors like vanilla, strawberry, and strawberries and cream. We also have burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton, and like us on Facebook.
The search is on for a new superintendent for the Hazleton Area School District. Dr. Craig Butler is leaving the post to become the superintendent at the Saucon Valley School District. Tonight, part 2 of Lisa Sugart's interview with Dr. Butler. With Hazleton Area being the 15th largest district in Pennsylvania, Lisa asked about the class sizes and other challenges he faced.
Size can be relative. Sometimes you think of Hazleton as being huge, and it is. But the nice thing is you have a lot of helpers in the system. The system is layered such that you can depend upon others to work as a team to lead the school district every day. With that said, I think the ongoing challenges will be the size and space. This year, perhaps for the first time in 4 years, Lisa, we saw the attendance grow in enormity again. The difference this year, Lisa, was that students, we didn't see those numbers decrease at the end of the year like we have in previous years. So our numbers grew, they held, and we're expecting those to transfer right into the fall. So size, space becomes an issue as we grow, classroom space, overcrowded buildings. Do I think the sky's falling in that regard? No, certainly not. But I think that the facilities master plan moving forward for the district will be a consideration.
It's a difficult task, no matter the size of the district. I mean, you'll be going to Saucon Valley. You told me 3 schools in the entire district, so that will be quite a change after dealing with the size of Hazleton area.
Big change, Lisa. I think, you know, in my career, which has spanned 38 years now, I've worked in smaller schools and larger schools, small districts, large districts. The interesting thing is that the leadership issues and some of the issues that are germane in most districts, they don't change. The size may vary, the layering of the school district may change, but the issues are oftentimes the same. What I'm looking forward to in Saucon Valley, I think, is a more intimate environment where I can get to know perhaps every teacher, many of the students, and I've had that privilege and pleasure here in Hazleton, but obviously with 13 buildings, it's harder to do. But I think the missing piece will be that, and the nice thing about Hazleton, it brings a vigor and excitement. It's kind of vibrant because of the size. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's almost like, you know, going in one store versus a mall. You get the feeling of that enthusiasm, that energy that's generated by size. So I think that'll be the biggest shock to me early on, but I think I'll make the adjustment.
Well, we wish you the best in your new endeavors, and we thank you for always coming in and speaking with us. Whenever we asked, you were always willing to pick up the phone and usually come down to see us in our studios. So we appreciate you taking the time and wish you the best of luck.
You're welcome. Lisa, it's been a pleasure, and you folks do a great job here. And thanks for being proponents of the school district and helping us celebrate some of the good things happening.
Our pleasure. Dr. Craig Butler.
Good luck, Dr. Butler. It was always a pleasure working with you, and good luck to all of you at home if you played the Pennsylvania Lottery. Here's your midday winning numbers: pick 2, 5-1, pick 3, 3-6-1, pick 4, 9-8-6-5, pick 5, 5-5, 4-1-6, and the wild number is 3. More racing coverage when we come back on SSP TV News.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
If you listen hard enough, you can hear the engines getting cranked up at Long Pond. Or that's just my stomach growling, because every time we give away a box of Frankie's Pizza, I get super hungry. I just say the word signature sauce and cheese blend. Anyways, here's the second part of my sit-down interview with motorsport journalist Dino Alberto, who brings his signature blend of wit and wisdom to racing coverage. And of course, big weekend at the Pocono Raceway as the NASCAR cars come back. The NASCAR trucks are here this weekend. So on Friday, it's the ModSpace 150 ARCA race at 4 p.m. On Saturday, Overton's 150 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. That's at 1 o'clock. And then on Sunday, the Overton's 400 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. You tell me a lot about local people who are up there. Steve Fox will be back in the ARCA race. You mentioned someone in a pit crew.
Yeah, locally, we got Steve Fox. He's ready to go with his ARCA car this weekend. Unfortunately, he had some circumstances back in June that did not allow him to take the green flag. He has been burning the midnight oil right now. So as a matter of fact, right after this show, we're heading down to his garage to do some PR work for him that he has coming up for some sponsors. He's got a great sponsor on board for this coming weekend up at Pocono. Matt Mattern Jr. from Mountaintop. He attends school down in North Carolina at the NASCAR Institute, and he has been able, through that, to be able to hook up with some NASCAR teams. He has been working with the Venerini Motorsports team. They are one of the top echelon teams in ARCA racing, and through that avenue, he has also been able to hook up with several NASCAR-related teams. He will be doing double duty this weekend, working for the Venerinis on the number 15 car in ARCA on Friday, and also on Saturday he'll be hooked up with one of the NASCAR truck teams. I'm not certain as of yet who that's going to be, but it's been a great run for this kid. He's a former champion in the factory stock division at Evergreen. His father used to race there, and his father is Matt Mattern Sr., and he's just a really great kid. Obviously, a lot of these guys, just like football, basketball, baseball, they'd love to get out there, and Kenny, they want to see themselves get into the big leagues. Sometimes that doesn't always happen. I think the beauty with racing is you can go to school, you can learn the trade, and you can still be in there and be hands-on with the sport. And this is how Matt Mattern Jr. is able to do it. I
want to ask you, there's a change of leadership at Pocono. Brandon Igdalski moving on, helping out NASCAR, I think in a marketing kind of position. Then Nick moves up. So just talk about what's going on. You're close with everyone at the track. So
that was a surprise for everybody. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That announcement just came out last week. Ben May being named the president. Ben's a great guy. He's been there for almost 20 years. Nick, the younger brother of Brandon Igdalski, those two guys have been there since the day they were born, so they know the ins and outs. They know every aspect of it. But it was just kind of a surprise to see Brandon pick up and say, I'm going somewhere else, and this is where it's taking me, down to Florida. He'll be working in NASCAR headquarters in Daytona Beach. Through a marketing aspect with it. As you said, Nick does take over, but I want to tell you something. Nick, anything that Brandon ever did at Pocono, Nick was right there alongside, and it's always been a family-oriented deal up there. So this transition, you won't even know it's taking place. It's going to be absolutely 100% smooth as silk. And Nick, he's a guy that likes to get out there, and he's very much hands-on. He's a racer himself. He's done local racing. He goes out and does national events through SCCA, a lot of things like that. He is the guy that actually redesigned all of the road courses up there at Pocono, and they are very interesting to say the least. But him taking over as the CEO, it should be absolutely flawless. There's not going to be any change. The big surprise, and I hope to have more information on that after this weekend, is the whole deal with Brandon and getting hooked up with NASCAR the way he has. So obviously very interesting, a bit of a surprise, but then again, everything should be business as usual.
And I mean, that's pretty neat. You always talk about these local guys, and now here's Brandon. I know running a track, that's a big-time job as well, but now all of a sudden you have someone down there in Florida with NASCAR who has local ties.
You know, NASCAR, and first of all, NASCAR and Pocono, going back to Doc Mattioli days, he had such a bond and a relationship with Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr., and, you know, it was through the Frances, that he was able to keep Pocono Raceway going, because back in the mid-'70s, he was ready to pack it in, and you know, it just, things were not working out, and they told him, stick this out. We're going to work with you. We'll stay with you. By the mid-1980s, they wound up with 2 dates. Pocono has gone through tremendous changes since that time, and now they've become one of the top echelon racetracks in the world, and we have it right here in our backyard. So there is a very, very tight bond between the Igdowski-Mattioli families and NASCAR themselves. So it's something that's good. I think it's going to be good for the track itself, and all of us here in Northeast PA, it should be no problem. And obviously, you know, you're talking about this coming weekend. Kenny, I want to throw this out there. I think the truck race is going to be absolutely fantastic. Why? Because they got the stages coming up, and it's a 60-lap race, and you know the stages are going to be in 15-lap segments, the first 2, so that is just going to be flat-out racing. I don't even know if there's going to be a strategy involved in that one, but it should be the best show of the weekend.
We'll get out there this weekend. The cars move fast. Dino Alberto moves faster, but he'll stop and he'll say hi if you recognize him here from SSPTV News or the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. Eckley Miners Village will host its annual 1940s weekend event and swing dance on August 5th and 6th at the Village and Freeland Park Pavilion. Admission is $10 for adults, $9 for seniors, and $6 for youth. Children 3 and under are free. Event hours are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on both days. The Tamaqua Community Arts Center will host Snow Return, a Kansas tribute band, on August 12th at 7 p.m. Tickets are $15. You can call the number on your screen for more information. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce will have the 2017 Downtown Hazleton Classic Car Cruisin' on Friday, August 4th from 6 to 9 p.m. in downtown Hazleton. The rain date is August 11th. For more information, you can contact the Chamber. And that's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Gail Skinner Donati, a celebration of life, will be held at the convenience of the family. Virginia W. Kalinovich of Hazleton. Funeral will be Saturday at 11:30 a.m. at the Harmon Funeral Home. And Anna Kiefer, Mass will be Saturday at 9:30 a.m. at the Church of St. Mary's of the Immaculate Conception in Wilkes-Barre. Friends may call Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. at the McLaughlin Funeral Home in Wilkes-Barre. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name now on SSPTV News, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Today's winner is Annette Morris of Tamaqua. Call now at 570-455-7267, extension 104 for your free movie.
Tomorrow on SSPTV News, we'll talk with a woman who's the subject of a very interesting book. She took on a big pharmaceutical company after she was fired, so we have that story. Plus, we'll talk about a basketball tournament coming to the city of Hazleton. We'll see you then. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.